UFC Vegas 71 is this Saturday. If you're looking for some strong parlays, some big underdog, and which parlays I'm personally taking, let's get into it. Just want to say, if you end up liking this video, you like my content, take a second and slap that like button around just like Dana White would. The first play of the night is small risk, small reward. This one has a really good chance at actually making it out and cashing it out. It's not one you're going to want to throw a small unit on and ride it out like a lotto play, but if you're playing with bigger units, this is one you'll definitely want to consider. We're going Aldridge, Silva, Harris, and Dumas. These are some of the best picks on the card at minus 300 to minus 150. All our favorites, but it's not any minus 700 BS like the last weekend. So if you combine the four of them, I think it's going to hit, and 2.7 extra money isn't it exciting? But you know what? We're gamblers, right? We're degens at heart, and we don't go for 2.7x's. You guys came for a little bit more than that. So we move on to Scary Gary. This one is essentially building up off the first one we did. We're adding in two more fights that give decent odds to juice it up a lot that I'm still very confident in. So we're taking Grant and Turkaj on top of the previous war we did. That's going to juice this card up to 11.5x. Getting a little bit more exciting now, right? These are the types of cards you're looking for on YouTube. You don't want no more 2.7x stuff, so I'll make sure we leave that in the past. But for you mid-level degens, this is a decent play. You know, you can put a mid-level unit on this and have a pretty high likelihood at making it out the top. Whenever you add more than 6 fights on the card, it's going to end up being a lotto play type of deal. This, however, I would say is not a lotto play, more on the safe side, still decent value, not a bad play at all. Now we're going to take it one step further. This one is Merab on top. So essentially same play we just did, but we're adding Romanov, we're adding Merab for 34.2x our total payout. Getting pretty juicy now, aren't we? I know Merab's at plus 200 or so, and having him over top of your entire parlay can be a little scary. So this isn't like the only one I would recommend doing, but if you're doing, you know, 5 different parlays, 6 different parlays, definitely add this one in. Merab is a very live underdog in this fight, as I said in multiple videos this week. I think he's going to win this fight, and for the value they're giving him, and considering he's the main event, nice little cherry to add on top if you want to get a little spicy tonight. If that wasn't crazy enough for you, this one might be. We Got A Squirter. I know it's an interesting name. We're taking Aldridge, Silva, Harris, Dumas, Grant, Romanov, Merab, Said Nurmagomedov, and Turkaj. This one's giving us a total payout of 90.8x our money. This is a lotto play. This wasn't one that you'd ever want to do a big unit on, but for guys like me that like to throw a couple small unit cards around and just let it ride the whole play, if you're getting 80-90% of your calls right, which I do, usually you can see some of these start to make it towards the end and it gets super exciting. So this is one I like a lot. We Got A Squirter. And now I know you're all thinking of it, right? You've had Merab on 2 cards, so now what the fuck? I got you covered. This one, if Merab fucks us. We're doing Aldridge, Silva, Harris, Dumas, Grant, Romanov, Tony Gravley, Said Nurmagomedov, Carl Williams, and Turkaj. Again, another lotto play scenario. We took off Merab, we added Tony Gravley to spice it up with a little bit of dog odds, and you're getting 61.3x your payout on this. Pretty spicy card, and Tony Gravley is the only underdog on the card. But you know what? These last few have been a little bit crazy, so let's tone it down. This one is for you big unit bettors. Only going to give out 5.2x the money, but you can go into it with more confidence. You're not taking so many risks. Like I always said, no matter how good your picks are, once you start getting 7, 8, 9 fights deep on a parlay, odds are something might screw it. So you want to sort of mix it. That's how I take my approach. I do half cards like this with bigger units. I do half cards with the smaller units in the lotto type. So this one's going to have Aldridge, Dumas, Romanov, Said, Williams, and Turkaj. All favorites, couple of them close to pick'ems, couple of them on the stronger side. Add it together, stir it up, and you get 5.2 extra payout. And I feel like I need to say this. I'm going to say it in every one of these videos because I don't want to lose sleep at night. No matter how confident I am in my play, you can lose, right? So don't go into this and bet anything more than you can afford to lose. Nothing is for sure. Even the 2.3x, something can happen. Something can always happen. They're people fighting in a cage, right? So I do my research. I make the best analysis I can. I judge that with the odds, see which sort of spots you can take advantage with and combine them safely as best as possible. At the end of the day, this is gambling, so don't be stupid. Not sure who needed to hear that, but I'm talking to you. So anyway, now that we got that out of the way, we have the Redeposit. This is for when you've made a bunch of cards in the night and you're like still sitting there, you're going, oh shit, I thought of that one. Now I gotta do this one. So we have that one for you. We're taking Aldridge, Dumas, Romanov, Said Nurmagomedov, Williams, Davy Grant, and Bruno Silva. All favorites. Grant is the closest one, and I'm still feeling confident in that. He's going up against a 40-year-old Rafael Assunção, so I feel pretty good about Grant in this, and he helps juice this up quite a bit, all the way to 13.8x. This is a good mid-unit level play. Definitely like it, and it's going to be one of the ones I'm riding. Now this one is a little crazy. We have JJ Aldridge, Dumas, Romanov, Said Nurmagomedov. So far, some favorites, nothing too crazy, right? Like, you're probably wondering, well, how's this going to be hard? Well, wait a second. We got William, Grant. Again, nothing too crazy. Merab and Ryan Spann. This is going to be paying out 111x your money because you have Merab on there, big underdog. You have Ryan Spann, a big underdog. I'm going to be covering all the best underdogs in my dog watch section coming up in a moment here. But those two, you add them in with some favorites, you get some damn juicy payout, 111x your money. Coming up to the 9th card of the video. If you're taking all these cards, I think this one goes to you. You have a problem. We're taking Aldridge, Dumas, Romanov, Saeed, Williams, Grant, Merab, Spann, Silva, Turkaji, and Gravley for a total of 711x your money. Now, these are some of those ones where you might look at it and go, well, anybody can click a bunch of underdogs and make a crazy payout. It's never going to happen. I see the argument in that, but I do like the underdogs I've chosen in this. Again, the odds of all of them hitting together is a little bit, well, 711x, but I've seen crazier shit happen. I know you have too. So let's not see it happen. Let's be a part of it and ride. You have a problem. Coming up to parlay number 10 of the video. This is last one, I promise. This is when you've done 9 or so cards of the night. You're like, oh shit, I really got to stop. But you know what? I still got a couple dollars in the betting account. This is the last one. So here we go. Aldridge, Silva, great favorites. Not too scary. Merab, Lingo, absolutely terrifying putting them together. Not advisable, but here we are. Turkaji and William for a total payout of 64x your money. Small unit this one if you're taking it. The odds of Lingo and Merab hitting together are pretty slim. I might not even take this one myself. It's just, if you like that pick, it is there for you, but I wouldn't be taking this one myself if I'm being completely honest. Coming up next, we have most confident. This is the second last parlay. I know I had a few more in this than the last week's video. There's just a lot more to play around with this card odds wise. Last one you were kind of forced to take so many of the favorites together. This one you kind of mix and match, so I wanted to present a few different options and looks for you guys to pick from. Of course, you don't have to follow any of these plays, you know, by the book. You can just follow, take what you like, remove what you don't like, add a little bit of spice, you know, whatever you want to do. None of this is obviously have to be set in stone. These are just to get your brain thinking about these things. I know you guys have a long work week, most of you don't have time to do all the research. The goal of this video is just to make it easy for you to hop on, watch a 10-minute video, and pretty much be ready to go. So in this one, we're taking Aldridge, Romanov, Grant, Dumas, and Saeed. Probably my favorite card of the entire cards I have here. I really like this one. I'm going to be taking this one myself because it gives decent payout. I don't feel too scared of the fights. The scariest one to me is Saeed Nurmagomedov. The other ones I'm pretty confident in, and I like this one a lot. 7 extra money, not bad at all. And coming up to the final card, at this point, it's probably not even necessary, but we're going to do one last. This one's paying out 10.5 extra money. You can mix in Aldridge, Silva, Turkaji, Romanov, Grant, and Dumas. I like this one a lot too. Another one I'll be taking. The reason is a lot of these may be similar, but you never know which one's going to be the one to screw you. The way I do my approach is I'll do maybe 10 total cards, take my total picks that I like, and then mix and match and plug and play based upon what gets the best odds, what's reasonable, you know, and what makes sense for me that weekend. So that's the parlays of the video. Now we're moving on to the best underdogs. These are ones I would recommend sprinkling in with some other favorites you like on the card. All of these are very live. They definitely have a chance at winning more so than the odds represent. And if you do want to go full DGen mode, you can put them together for 69 extra money. I wouldn't do it though. The odds of all 4 of them hitting together is pretty slim. So we have Merab at plus 225. Probably the best underdog value to likelihood of happening in the entire card, in my opinion. Really like Merab for that money. Definitely worth a single stab. Definitely worth adding into some parlays, as you saw in my picks. But not one you should consider a lock and you should add into every single one. Again, anything can happen, right? But for the value you get Merab, he's worth sprinkling in some places. Next, you have Gravley at plus 126. Not much to be said there. It's going to be a tough matchup. I believe he gets that one done. At the underdog odds you can get him, definitely worth sprinkling in on some of your cards. And then we have the biggest underdog of the entire card, Austin Lingo at plus 300. This is, for me, is a single bet, maybe sprinkling on the crazy ones. While I do think he can win this, and I picked him in my video to win this, not one you want to be messing around with too heavy on parlays, but for a single bet at those odds, might be worth it for you. And the last dog on Dog Watch is Ryan Spann. This guy has power in his hands, wrestling, some good jiu-jitsu, a little bit crazy in the mind, so you take that together, you kind of get the perfect cocktail of an underdog that you want to ride and watch on a UFC event, right? So he's going up against a tough task. I feel that his size and his skills will be a tough matchup for Krylov. I believe he's a very live underdog in this, and I do think he actually gets it. At plus 146, not a bad underdog to consider, and definitely will be a fun fight to watch on the weekend. So like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to know the cards I'm taking this weekend and you want to ride along with me, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking small risk, small multi, 2.7x. I'm putting a bigger unit on it. I'm pretty confident in this one. Obviously a smaller payout, but I like to be a little bit safer on some of my cards, crazier on others. This is going to be one of the safer ones I'm playing. I have high confidence that one's going to make it through. I'm going to be taking Scary Gary as well, 11.5x. I'm going to be putting a medium sized unit on this one. I like this one a lot, especially for the 11.5x. The ones that worry me the most is Turkaj and Grant. Of course, the odds reflect that as well. For one of the smaller unit plays, I'm going to be taking Merab on top. I like this one a lot. I do think Merab gets it done. All of the plays on here I like a lot. And now this one is one of the lotto plays I'm taking. Not high confidence that this one makes it out the gate. Using a small unit, we got a squirter. Honestly, I just think the name's hilarious, so I'm going to be going with this one. The picks, I like all of them, but again, once you get above 6, you're getting into sketchy territory. But you got to have a couple lotto plays going. That's what makes watching the whole card extra fun. You know, I like to have a little action on every fight if the odds make sense. So if you're like that, this one is for you. Small unit though. This one's going to be my second big unit play. We're going to go with Let's Tone It Down. Just again, I like to do 3 bigger unit plays, mix up the picks a little bit. This is the second bigger one I'm choosing to go with. Again, you guys can sprinkle around, do whatever you want. This is just what I'm choosing. This one's going to be a medium level unit. I'm taking the Redeposit. Same reasons as before. I like the play. Okay, you get the point. I'm taking the Redeposit. It's going to be one of my medium unit plays for this card. I think it has a pretty good shot at making it out the other side. And you know, I'm taking You Have a Problem. 711x payout. If I made this video and I didn't put a small unit on it, I would be extremely sad and mad at myself. I would be so mad. So I have to. I don't recommend you do it though. Don't tail me on this unless you're as big of a degenerate as I am. A little small unit on this one just in case. It'll be fun just to ride it out if we make it past, you know, halfway point. It'll start getting pretty exciting. So why not, you know, just a little small one. And it would be kind of silly if I made this card and didn't take it. I'm going to be taking the most confident parlay, 7 extra money. Aldridge, Romanov, Grant, Dumas, and Said Nurmagomedov. Putting a medium to high size unit on this one. It's one of my favorites I have on the card. So if you're going to follow me on any card I've suggested this entire video, this would probably be the one I'm most confident in. But again, I don't want to be able to not sleep at night. I want to say it again, gambling, anything can happen. I've done my research to the best of my ability. I am big into UFC sports betting, so that's why I've obviously made this channel to help people, you know, who don't do as well with UFC betting or they don't have the time to do the research. But at the end of the day, follow at your own risk. Bet what you can afford to lose. Don't be an idiot. So that's it for this week's Before You Bet. If you guys enjoyed this video, you like the vibe of my content, take a second, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know which of the parlays you like the most, which ones you don't like. I love seeing the comments and interacting with you guys there. If you're an MMA fan, a UFC fan, remember the name MMA GigaFan, and I'll have videos like this every single fight card. So I hope this card is as good as I think it will be, and next week is going to be crazy. Usman Edwards pay-per-view. I can't wait. We're going to have tons of good content coming out, and I will see you next time.